What is your met the high school bully as an adult story? This guy used to bully me all the time from about 3rd grade from probably 8th grade. After that we became friends for some reason. And actually became good friends. Until I found out he always talks shit behind my back. This guy thinks real highly of himself and thinks he's better than everyone also. So after I graduated, him and his GF was going through arguments as they always did, and I happened to go over my buddy's house and she was there. Let's just say he got what he deserved. They're still together also. And every chance she gets when they get in an argument he is reminded of me by her lol. I worked at the local gas station and he stopped in one time. About an hour later he returned and asked had we found any little baggies on the floor? It clicked that he meant drugs. We didn't find it. He's dead of an overdose now. Not high school bully meeting in adult life, but kindergarten bully meeting again in middle school. Let's just say, I reminded everyone of what he did and he had a very small friend group. I don't have one actually. I tend to avoid everyone from high school. Save for 3 people. Ran into him at a bar in our mid-40s. He tried to start up again right where we left off. I bought him a beer, told him it was nice to see him and now go away and enjoy his free beer. He stayed nearby and listened while I told a couple sea stories. I'm retired Navy. His jaw dropped lower and lower as he realized I hadn't peaked in 12th grade. I walked into a McDonald's in my fine ass suit and looked at that mouth-breathing motherfucker and just stared at him in his goddamn eyes without breaking eye contact. We finished our transaction, and I just said as I leave, have a nice life. I don't normally take pleasure at anyone's misfortune. But what this guy put me through in high school. Fuck him. So this isn't about me, but it's about my dad. So a few months back when I was still on night shift at this restaurant, I was getting off work early for once at 10 p.m. And I go to sit down for a drink while I wait for my ride-sharing app of choice to come and get me. Because it's been a hell of a night with customers screaming at me and shit. When I come up to the bar, this guy who looks to be around my dad's age is chatting the bartender up about this high school team he coaches and a bunch of other mundane shit that you can tell the bartender could care less about. Bartender finally breaks away and takes my order. Gets my drink. Guy comes over to me and starts trying to chat me up. I'm giving short, terse answers because I really don't want to chat. But I'm still in uniform and I was still in my probationary period with the restaurant, so if he decided to be a dick and give me a bad review online because I was too short with him, I'd be finished. At one point he starts talking about construction and maybe wanting some work done for his house. I'm like, yeah, I know all about that. My dad's in construction. He's like, oh yeah? I'll bet I know him. Who's your dad? Out of reflex. Because it's a small city and I'm used to everyone in the area knowing my dad. I was like, Rob. He stares at me for a bit and then is finally just like, Rob who? And at this point because he said something about possibly wanting work done. I see him as a potential client because sometimes I help my dad with his business. So I give him my dad's last name. And he goes, I know him. Blank. High school. Class of 88. We went to the same school back in the day. And then he insisted I pull out my phone and text my dad his number and email right then and there. Because he's watching me, waiting for me to do it. I go ahead and do it. Me. Texting. Hey, Dad, do you know a guy named blank? He says he knows you and wants me to give you this number and email him. You tell your dad you saw me. We'll all go out for drinks sometime. It'll be great. I knew my dad was asleep by this point because he gets up at 5 o'clock every morning and wouldn't get the messages. But whatever. I mean, if the guy ended up trying to kill me, at least the cops would have an idea of who did it. Right? The next day I started working day shift and my dad picked me up on his way home. I asked my dad if he got my message. He goes, yeah, but I don't know why he'd want to talk to me. He was a little bitch back then. I threw him in the dumpster a couple of times. Me. So, wait, you bullied him and he was happy to see me and excited to talk to you? Funniest thing about all of this is, my dad is not a social person. He only has one friend and the rare times they do meet up. They hang out at my dad's house with my dad on his computer and his friend on his laptop. Also, my dad doesn't drink. He hasn't drank since I was 8 because it just wasn't interesting anymore, so I knew this was never going anywhere close to what this guy was imagining. I just wanted to know if he was full of shit or not. TLDR. My dad's high school bully victim was happy to see me and wanted to take my dad and I out for drinks. Went to visit my old high school professor the previous day because I haven't seen him in a while. We talked about random stuff until it came to us reminiscing the years of high school. A little backstory. I was 20 kilograms overweight then. Had a lot of acne and eczema and not really that pretty. However, I excel in my class because I was pretty smart. As I was about to end my 7th grade, I got the award the class bully was wanting during that time and she and her friends bullied me, saying that I don't deserve it, even personal ones like my face shape, my weight, my acne and whatnot, which depleted my self-esteem. She was our principal's niece so she got away with it. Comes 11th grade, I transferred to a uni. Our country has Big 4 inches, which are the top 4 universities in our country, and I fortunately got in at one of them, and I left everything behind and cut ties with them because I love my life now. I fixed myself physically and mentally. I lost 50 pounds, controlled my eczema, cured my acne whilst still maintaining my grades. Going back, I found out that those who bullied me in HS, there were 3 of them. All girls. 1 did not finish HS and succumbed to her drug addiction. 1 got kicked out of her uni. And 1 just eloped with her boyfriend and just didn't study anymore. IDK. Not actually really happy about it, but I guess the best revenge is doing better. They all could stalk me and honey. Watch. Me. Flourish. I honestly never had a high school bully cause I kept to myself all 5 years. I failed a grade. Everyone loved how quiet I was so no one bothered me. Well, I became the boss of my high school bully. At first I didn't even recognize him. Not until I've read his CV. He still got the job and we're on good terms now.